So, what audiences need to know, especially in this particular case, we're identifying a primary as well as a secondary audience. And so, if you go back and look at the example, they have very, very specific questions that the primary audience needs to know, but they didn't discount what the secondary audience needs to know. And then more specifically, we're talking about the what kind of impact these things are going to have. And I just really thought that this was very, very, very thoughtful and very creative way to help understand the issue through an understanding of audience and stakeholders. And that is really what is primarily beneficial, taking a deep dive, if you will, into understanding your audience and understanding, in this case, they're looking at a very specific problem with process, and that there are a lot of moving parts, and that those moving parts are via these different stakeholders, right? Lab technicians, not just physicians, but lab technicians, client representatives. There's also going to be this perhaps a courier service that is taking you to and fro. So we've got these perhaps tertiary, right, ancillary ripple effect, as I discussed earlier, that they'll be interested in what changes impact work processes. How will patients and doctors be affected in the collection process? Will doctors' offices need training and handling procedures? How will doctors be informed of the changes? So it just, because it's one thing to sit there and say, okay, this is going to be the new collection process, right? Hey, it's more cost efficient. I've got it right here in writing. It's another thing to say, in this particular case, right? By making this change, while it's better in the long run, we've also got to consider all these other moving parts. Is there have to be training involved, right? Is there going to be what kind of changes in the process, and to what extent are these changes going to be affecting individual people, right? From technicians to client representatives to sales representatives, etc. I think this is a really, really, really fine moment for this project, especially if you're a decision maker reading something like this. It doesn't just, because you're not just thinking only about the solution itself and what its results are. You're also thinking about the effect of those solutions, right? Saying that something is the greatest solution or the best solution is one thing. Saying that this is the best solution, and here's how it gets implemented in a way, and thinking about the implementation process and how it affects your audience and stakeholders, is really, really neat. It's a really, really, really higher order, higher level thinking, as well as thinking about the entire, thinking more of the big picture and explaining you are aware of as you're going through this research, as you're putting this proposal together, that you're aware of what the change, who's affected by the changes as part of your audience and stakeholders. All right, guys, that's it for audience and stakeholders. If you have any questions, just let me know. Above all, and most importantly, stay safe, and please be staying awesome. I hope that these videos are a little cleaner. I hope. I hope they're not as jaggedy. I hope everything seems to be working out. I'm still having a little bit of delays here, but I think for the most part, it's a little bit better. But just let me know. All right, guys. Bye now.